Well, hello, fellow champions. It's me, Johnny, the champion within, coming to you today with a video about full transparency in my channel. So, over the last 3 or 4 days, I've actually been gaining weight. Now, why do I think this is happening? I think it's because I've cheated. Or did I cheat? What do I mean by that? So, when you're on a carnivore diet and people say cheating, you're thinking people eating stuff that's off plan, processed food, sweets, candy, cookies, cakes, things like that. Well, I've done none of that. But what I have succumbed to was an old habit of turning to food when I get anxious, upset, or exhausted. And here lately, I have so many irons in the fire with my job, with YouTube, with trying to win the step challenge that Carnivore Backwoods put out. I'm leading it. I've been leading basically the whole time. I'm trying to win that challenge just to get a little notoriety, and I enjoy the challenge of winning. Stuff with my wife, things at home. It's just been very stressful lately, and to be honest, I'm somewhat exhausted. Well, I don't know about you guys, but when I get really, really tired, when I get exhausted, I tend to make poor decisions. That's the that's the recurring theme throughout my whole life. When I'm overly tired, I tend to, if I'm going to gamble, that's when I do it. If I'm going to eat off plan, that's when I do it. If I'm going to binge eat, that's when I do it. If I could really prioritize sleep and relaxation and rest, I think I could get away from some of this. So I've not eaten off plan, but I have found myself eating when I'm not hungry. Came home from work last night about 11:30. Really, really tired. I've been burning the candle at both ends, as I've explained multiple times. We just finished inventory at work. That was pretty stressful. Working extra hours, trying to do my YouTube stuff. I spent 3 days fighting with my software and my hardware, trying to figure out why I couldn't upload videos, and that was exhausting, to say the least. But I came home last night, and this has happened a couple of times, and I really wasn't hungry. I was just exhausted, mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. And so I went to the refrigerator and I actually ate carnivore food. I had boiled eggs, I had some butter, I had a couple of hamburger patties, and I wasn't even hungry. And as I was eating, I was thinking, "What are you doing? Why are you eating this?" And I couldn't answer the question. I finally went to bed, got some sleep, got up this morning, got on the scale, and I've gained yet another pound. So about a week ago, I was 231, and as you see in the beginning, on the thumbnail, I'm now at 235. So I've put on 4 pounds in a week. I should be losing weight, but I think the emotional eating is still there for me. I've got to figure out how to curb that. Hopefully, starting next month, where I work, we close at 10 o'clock, but in the first weekend of November, we'll start closing at 9 o'clock. When we move the clocks back, we'll change our hours. So we'll close an hour earlier, which means I'll get off at 10 instead of 11. And hopefully that can get me to bed earlier and get my circadian rhythms kind of more balanced. I'm hoping that'll help. Another thing that I have to really pay attention to, that I've got lackadaisical about, and full transparency here, is my Waterloo drinks. I've been drinking a lot of these, and I know it's just sparkling water, so it's really technically not off plan. But the grape and the black cherry are my two favorites. I have a lot of them in my fridge, and they have a little bit of a sweet taste. So is that causing an insulin spike? Could be. So I really got to work on that. I drink a lot of water, and I drink the elements. And I ordered the full big package, the big case of elements, and they're all the flavor type. I didn't get any of the unflavored type. So maybe that could be part of my problem. I'm having something sweet hit my tongue, which I'm certain causes an insulin spike. Maybe not a high spike, but at least an insulin increase to some degree. Plus eating a lot of protein, eggs. I make boiled eggs in my little egg steamer thing that I showed you guys a few episodes ago. And there's, good balance between protein and fat in the eggs, but there is protein, and an overabundance of protein will cause gluconeogenesis, which kind of causes your blood sugar to go up because your liver makes carbohydrates out of proteins. So I really got to try to figure out how to balance all this stuff out, because right now I can tell you I don't feel like there's any balance in my life. I'm all over the map, and I'm going from sun up to sundown and then some. So still have to work on that. I think the 4 pounds might also be attributed to the fact that when I weighed 231, I think the day before that I'd walked 10 miles, then I'd walked 7 miles. And the weather here was still relatively warm. I live in North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte, and the weather here was still pretty warm. Although over the last 4 or 5 days, the weather has gotten much colder. For example, this morning it's like 64 degrees inside my house. My wife and I have been debating whether to turn the heat on. Well, I just turned it on a little while ago. I'm finding that the more weight I lose, the less I like being cold. And I'm starting to understand why older people move to Florida, retire, move to Florida, or to Arizona. Because cold weather, especially if you don't have a lot of insulation on your body and you begin to age, it's just miserable. I don't mind being miserable at the gym for 20 or 30 minutes. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't mind being miserable for a couple hours if I'm power walking and I start to feel tired. I can push through that. But when you're uncomfortable all day long because it's cold, that'll make you look at some property down in Florida and or maybe in Arizona where the weather seems to stay warm year round. But anyway, what do you guys experience? Does anybody else out there experience this weight gain and eating maybe, even when you're eating on plan, but you're eating off of your time schedule? I had moved my eating window down to, about a 4 hour window. And yesterday I ate 3 times. The day before yesterday I ate 3 times. And as I said earlier, I wasn't even really hungry. I mean, I don't even know why I ate, what made me decide to eat, other than I was just exhausted. And that's when I make horrible decisions. So hopefully going forward, I can begin to work on these things. I can become conscious of them and know that I just need to, instead of going to the refrigerator, go to bed. Just go to bed. Just get up and go get in the bed. But man, that's what's on my heart. Hopefully, I can get a sweatsuit and some thicker socks and still get out here and walk, even though the weather's getting much colder going forward. My job I'll be getting off an hour earlier. I'll be going in an hour earlier, but I'm okay with that. Getting off an hour earlier will help, and that starts in the beginning of next month. Also, I'm going to work really hard to win this challenge. Sean, the intentional carnivore, is right behind me, and at one point in time, he actually caught me and passed me. So I've got to really get busy on these steps because I desperately want to win this step challenge, and hopefully I can get an interview with some of these guys, or they can interview me once I win the challenge. We'll see. Anyway, guys, kind of a short video today because I got to be at work in an hour. I got to get going. So stress continues. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's video is supposed to rain all day tomorrow. Today is Thursday. I'm off on Friday and Saturday, but it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So there is an older mall in my area. Some of the stores are closed, but it's a pretty big mall. So if it rains, I'm going to go walk around inside that mall, basically the whole day until my wife gets off work. Get me a whole bunch of steps and stay out of the rain. And then Saturday, I may go to a new park. It's called Frank Liskey Park. And it's in the same county that I'm in, but on the other side of the county. But it's got a 2.5 mile perimeter around the park. So that'll be fun to walk that park that I've never been to. We'll go give that a try on Saturday. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Love you. Take care. See you tomorrow. Johnny out.